Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and grind to everybody this morning. Let's get started. Hope everybody's having a wonderful morning so far. You rose, as of course you're here. You're following me. Hey, while you're here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. A quick recap over the Lynx versus Valkries game the other day, 2 days ago. It was a banger of a game. When we talk about how well Hiedeman played, as you can see in the title, we're talking about Hiedeman's career high with in the big game against the Valks. Valks hung in there. Valks did an amazing job. I mean, they fought tooth and nails to get just what they needed to be. Just what they needed to be. But they just didn't make it on top. It was the will of Hiedeman. Hiedeman came in and did such an amazing job. Natasha, I tell you, it's not too often that we get on here and we talk about Natasha or individual players on the Lynx other than our infamous Nafisa Collier. But hey, nevertheless, here we are. Hiedeman. I wanted to come on and give her flowers for the amazing job that she did in that game, just wheeling the Lynx there. Of course, Nafisa Collier did her job. She did her due just. We can sit here. We can go over the stat line real quick. The stat line for that particular game. Of course, Lynx won that game pretty much solidly, 78-72. First quarter, 18-16 for the Valks, 18-15 for the Valks. And the second quarter, you know what that halftime looked like. That was a 38-point lead. A 36-point lead for going into the half for the Valks and the Lynx. Then we turn around, and for third quarter, it was 30-16 for Minnesota. Minnesota came out and they played and they did Minnesota Lynx things. We know that they've had such an amazing run this year. And with having that amazing run, we can't take anything from them or their game as a whole, as an entire team. We can talk about Nafisa Collier, MVP, and her run for excellence this year and getting herself in a position to become the MVP of this 2025 season. However, it was Hiedeman's night. It was all about Natasha Hiedeman. When I say woo-wee, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It was indeed, in fact, her night. They could not slow her down. She was the player that they all wanted to forget about, but here we are. She did her thing. She did her thing regardless. Oh, you're going to forget about me? That's okay. Here I am. Take that. Come around again. Take that. They left her open again. Take that. That was a great game. Then we go into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, it's kind of slowed down the Minnesota Lynx a little bit, but Hiedeman was there once again to do what Hiedeman does. I love when she gets to come in and be able to be that next catalyst on the side of Courtney Williams, when Courtney Williams isn't that key guard to the feed side, then there's Natasha. She is always there. She gives you, sometimes she go unnoticed. And that's why I want to do a piece on her real fast, because she goes unnoticed a lot of times for the key things that she does. However, we do know when we're watching the game, we get to see what an amazing player that she is, where the little things she does are key areas of the game that will help deter a game in any way, form, or fashion. I like that about Hiedeman. She takes her time. She does her thing. But I tell you, her and Courtney being two peas in the pod, as the stud buzzes they are, and being best friends, it shows. When it comes game time, you see the love on the court for the entire Lynx team, They're like a family. It shows family. It shows no discourse. It shows how well they can gel together and come together in a time of discretion, when the game is on the line and they just don't know where to turn. They always have a dime and a diamond in the rough, as you would say. They have a diamond in the rough. And in this game, that diamond in the rough was Natisha Hiedeman. Hiedeman balled her behind off, guys. Now, going into that fourth quarter, back to the score of the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter was 20-17 Valkries, which all in all was not enough because they allowed the Lynx to capitalize in that third quarter, coming out of the half and just kind of blowing that quarter out of the water, having it, basically having 14, scoring 14 more points than the Valks. But of course, Valkyries had the game pretty much going into the half. They allowed, like I said, the Lynx to come in the third quarter, bust their head wide open. Now here we are. We get into the fourth, and it's a battle. It's a struggle. It's the wherever we're going back and forth. Who has it? Who don't? Who's going to take the lead? Who's going to shift? How are we going to win? How are we going to get ourselves and get that monkey that's kind of weighing on our back off so we can shrug it off and get going and do whatever it is that we need to do to win this game? Well, you know who it was? You know who it was? Hiedeman got that monkey off that back. Hiedeman did Hiedeman things. Hiedeman did Hiedeman things. Now, I'm going to go away from the box scores a little bit and get into just the depth, a little bit of the depth of the game, and what we saw from Hiedeman and her astonishing 3-point night. I do want to go back to the scores and give you the highlights of individual players. So that particular game on Sunday, which was the fiery game of the entire day, that's NFL and WNBA both combined together, because Natasha she did such an amazing job. Breaking down the score, we have Lynx, we have Kayla McBride. It was not the best night for her. She had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. However, when you have Hiedeman doing Hiedeman things and McBride isn't able there, Brittany Carlton isn't there to kind of help you along. I meant Brittany Carlton, not McBride, because McBride also had a pretty decent game. Of course, it was really slow, but it's the facilitating that we can say we got from her, which was not an effective night either. But just the presence of her being out there on the floor and giving the best version of her, it was just, they were on her heels, y'all. They were on McBride's heels. They shut her down to no end. But just the presence of her and the leadership that she possessed on the floor with facilitating, passing the ball. She didn't have, like I said, she didn't have a great night. Neither did Carlton. But here we go. Carlton had 4 points, 2 rebounds. 4 rebounds, which was 2 and 2, 2 for offense, 2 for defense. Then she had 2 assists, 1 steal. We had Nafisa. Nafisa had a big night after coming from a loss to the Aces and kind of having a belt to ass from Las Vegas, meaning the one and only Asia Wilson gave them the business. She scored 30-plus points on them the night before, and Nafisa was in a blender and she didn't know how to get out of it. But what a way to come back out of that slump and do the things that she did to help will her team to a win against the Valks. She had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Then we had Shepard. Jessica Shepard had 12 points, 13 rebounds, 13, 9 defensive, 4 offensive. She had 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Then, of course, McBride, who had such a slow night, but just being out there, her presence was still known. Not really the best night for her on any accords from a numbers perspective. She had 4 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 steals and 1 block. Then we had Courtney freaking Williams, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, but we're okay with that, right? When you're moving at such a fast, rapid pace, such as herself and Hiedeman, the way that they move on the court, you're going to have nights where you're going to have a couple fumbles here and there with turnovers, but it was warranted because the Volks was in that throat. They put their foot on the gas and did not let up. It just so happens that the Lynx just had a little bit more in their tank when it came to firepower with scoring and being able to get to the cup a lot that faster. But now here we go. We'll go ahead and we'll go to Maria Kosovica. She didn't score any points, but she did a little bit. She gave two offensive, 2 defensive rebounds for a total of 4 rebounds and 1 block. But the steal of the night, guys, was Natisha Hiedeman. Hiedeman, 24 points, surpassing her infamous MVP that night. But hey, 2 peas in the pod is better than no thorns in the bush, right? You get thorns in the bush, you get broke. And there you go. With no thorns in the books, it's a smooth sailing. You had Natisha Hiedeman, who had 24 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block. I just had to come in and speak on Hiedeman real fast and what an amazing job she did in that game. But we'll go ahead and we'll give you the box scores of the Valkries. Valkries, you had Janelle Salon. She had 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, and one steal. So those turnovers kind of were costly. Could have been a difference maker in winning and losing of this game for the Valkyries. Not too bad though of a night for them because they put, like I said, belt to ass, working hard over the Lynx. The Lynx just happened to come out on top. They led that game for the majority. Then we had Elena Repart had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Then we turn over to Timmy. Timmy had 6 points, 1 turnover, 3 rebounds. We had Charles, yeah. She had 15 points, 3 assists. She had 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block, but 8 rebounds. They had a very good boarding night. Then you had Burton. Burton had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Again, 4 turnovers, which were very costly for them as well. Then we had Monique. Monique Billings had 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 block. Martin had 2 points, not an effective night for her. She had 20 minutes where she would have been able to pull the rabbit out of the hat and get it done. But she had 2 points, 6 rebounds, which was still very helpful with two assists. She did have the 2 assists, 1 turnover. And then last but not least, well, that was it. Last but not least, we have Letty, who had 1 assist. Was not very effective in the game. But we'll go ahead and kind of digress a little bit. 1 second, guys. Okay, back at it. Had to just kind of take this real quick. So that's the box scores. Box scores for every player, what they look like. will give you the field goal percentage for the Lynx, which was 38.2% from the field goal line, from the field goal range. But nevertheless, it's all in all, it's not, I don't want to say it's not too bad, but it was enough. It was a good game. Defense was there for both teams. You had Valkries, who had 38.6%. So they pretty much they kind of matched each other up along the way. So that's basically what we have. Sorry, guys, I have to answer the duty phone. I'm on call right now, so I'm answering the duty phone real fast. Now, back to Hiedeman. We could go into highlights of Hiedeman, but I just want to say this. Highlighting the game the way that folks will want us to highlight the game, that is not the case. It is not the case. Not at all. Natasha Hiedeman matched her career high this night with 24 points, matching her career high because she's done it before. This is definitely not the day, guys. They're just blowing me up right now. When you're on call, that kind of happens a little bit. But back to Natisha, she just matched her career high points, leading the Lynx to the 72 win over Golden State Valkries. She already had, with scoring, we'll say the Lynx 33-9 with their record, pushing that win over the barrier and, of course, clinching their first place spot. I don't think that there was going to be anybody come in to take over the first place position going into the playoffs at all. McBride clinched it with the two free throws down the line, and that helps. That's why I said that it was a big deal for McBride, although she wasn't effective scoring. Sometimes it's not about scoring, it's about the little things, the tangible things that will help you get over that hump to do the things that you do to actually win that game. Talia finished, of course, the game, we know, with the 20 points, doing her big one. But we cannot forget Janelle Saloon, Elena Ripart, and Charles. We cannot overlook what a job that they did to be in that game, to lead that team the way they was leading that team, and pretty much almost stole that game from the Lynx. It wouldn't have been a steal because they would have earned it. They did such a phenomenal job. But I wanted to come in and kind of give y'all that little hoorah and recap over the Lynx versus Valkyrie game. And with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy out. But before I buy out, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and come in and hit that like button first and foremost. That's number one. Hit that like button. Then here's what I want you to do. Subscribe. Subscribing is something that I say, hey, that's what we want. Subscribe to the channel. It is important. Subscribe. You're going to get more of these. But at the end of the day, what a phenomenal game it was. What a phenomenal game it was. Way to put belt to ass. Way to get it done. Way to be that leader, Hiedeman. I commend you to join Fee in the big run over the Valkyrie. Now, with that, guys, don't forget to leave a comment and go ahead and hit that notification bell. So every time I drop, you'll be notified. So that way you can come back and you can see me and see what I have to say, see what kind of information I'm going to put out on who, on any given player on any given day. That's who. Be you. Enjoy your day. I'm going to say aloud, it's time to go put my belt to ass to work and move on from there, because I got the hotline right now. So I got to go ahead and do what I do and make it work. With that, guys, deuces. I will see you on the next run. Thank you.